for both of you, what does it mean to you to live like Fred?
Oh, I'm gonna need a second to think about this one. Okay. The first word that comes to mind when I think about Fred, after having done this project, I wouldn't have said this before, but it goes back to intention and practice. It's easy to assume that you are a good person. It's easy to assume that somebody else is not. I think living like Fred is waking up every day and choosing to be a good person and choosing to see the best in your neighbor. And it's easier said than done. And so it takes practicing that every day, reflecting on it and thinking about how you're going to do better the next day. Again, like Joanne wrote, nobody worked harder at being Fred Rogers than Fred Rogers. And once you know that there's a method to what Fred did, it becomes your responsibility to live up to his legacy in whatever ways are authentic and right for you.
That's a good answer. Fortunately, there are many layers of answers to that. For me, to live like Fred is to accept the challenge that he offered at the Millennium, and that is to make goodness attractive. And I think in those three words, he captures a life challenge for me, but I think for a lot of people, and indeed for humanity. That if we focus always on making goodness attractive, we'll do the things we need to do and do them rightly in support of our kids and our communities.
That's a good answer too. Holden, would you mind just telling us what it is to live like Fred, in your opinion? I mean, you're the one who's out there asking and doing all these interviews. I'm just curious what it means to you after all this time.
Well, Ryan, oh, geez, Ryan. You know, Ryan, I don't know, I don't know if I really ever thought of it because you're right, because I'm always the one who is just, to me, just going out and being kind to one person every day. Like when I was humbly interviewed on a WTAE a few years ago, one of the quotes that I said is, even if you're just kind to one person, you're already making the world a better place. And in a way, that is how I try to live like Fred. Just try to go out there, and I really love your guys' suggestion and just the waking up every day and just being committed to doing good in this world. I think because that's something that I try to do every day, and I think that is how I live like Fred. And